If you don't have a child who is dying to go into a STEM field, then really the things that are most important are the basics.
Let's talk about the third non-R, which is arithmetic, which starts with an A, not an R, but we're talking about the 3 R's. So we'll just call it arithmetic. So, let's talk about arithmetic.
Arithmetic. And again, I know this is one of those things that freaks people out. There are so many programs that CTC can help math. You teach math if you feel like you want to use a curriculum. And honestly, it is not a requirement, particularly in the younger years. If you don't have a child who is dying to go into a STEM field, then really the things that are most important are the basics, right?
Yep.
The reading, the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and knowing when and how to apply those. Real life application of math is so important. And that's the best way to teach it. Taking your kids to the grocery store and showing them how to compare, how to figure out, price per ounce on this versus price per ounce on this, figuring out how to balance a budget, figuring out if this is the money that we have budgeted for groceries, what's the best, that's all math. And we forget that things like that they don't come naturally. Like you got to learn how to apply these things, Yeah. And so by modeling for your kids, this is how we use this form of math. This is when we use this is when we do that. And then you can branch into things even like, geometry, for example. If you have a child who loves to build, they want to start, they want to get the wood and make a bookshelf or make, a table or something. Or you're going to have to talk about angles. You're going to have to talk about geometry. But you're teaching it through things that they like, things that they're wanting to do. Right. And these, looking for these ways to teach through life, particularly with math, makes math so much easier, so much less scary. We tend to say, oh, like I'm a math person. Oh, I'm not a math person. We tend to think of there being like math people. There is no such thing. It's just people who have who have been taught in a way that resonates with them, and people who've been taught in a traumatic way that has made them think, I never want to, see another math sheet again. Right? Just you don't teach it with trauma. Stay away from, the drill and kill of we're going to do these, multiplication facts. You've got to finish the 100 in 3 minutes.
Right.
Those like drills that we used to do in elementary school. Oh my gosh. You don't have to do that. And here's the other thing too. When you and I were kids, our teachers said all the time, you're not going to walk around with a calculator in your pocket.
Right. Yes, we are.
We are walking around with a calculator in our pocket.
Yep.
Our kids, you know what? And this might be one of those things that people will debate. I don't think it's super important to spend a ton of time forcing your kids to memorize their facts. Over time, they will memorize them because they'll be using them and using them and using them.
Yeah.
But if you have a child who's really resistant to that, is it really worth the fight, the battle, when they can literally just say, hey, Siri, what's 8 times 9?
Yeah.
Oops, Siri just popped up on my computer. She's like, yes. I'm, she's saying it in my head. I'm 46-year-old and I still do not know my eights. Like I have a blank space in my head for my eights facts. I've just never learned them. And yet I have become a very successful adult.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's not about having to know all of this stuff. It's about knowing what skill you need to use and when.
Right.
That is the most important thing. And so when you focus on that, and then as your kids get older, middle school, high school, and you start seeing their interests, their talents developing, and they're starting to talk about what they might want to do in the future. If you see a kid who's moving in a STEM direction, that's when you say, okay, let's formalize this. Let's dig into this. And they're going to be so intrinsically motivated to do that because it's going to get them where they want to go.
Yes.
You're not going to have the battles. They're going to be like, okay, I want to get into that program.
Yeah.
So I got to learn this. And they'll learn it so much faster because they're intrinsically motivated.
Right.
Instead of you sitting down and saying, you have to work on this for 20 minutes and having that fighting all day.
Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.